Well, this could be one of the dumbest things I have done in a long time. I've decided to do a torture test. As this train, of course, passes behind me. At that moment, I start filming. But here's the kicker. I don't know if it's a torture test for the car or me. You see, I have agreed with Hyundai to drive all the way to Canberra and back about 14 hours, the equivalent of flying from Melbourne to Los Angeles or driving from London to Edinburgh and back, you know, a different country, all within 24 hours. Originally, I was actually going to do this with Daddy Jacob, but unfortunately, he has had some pretty significant family commitments come up, and so he can't make it today. So rather than put every other road user in danger, we were going to do this in one trip up and there. I'm going to go there, stay there for the night, and come back early in the morning. So it will still be within 24 hours that we're doing about 1,600 kilometers in this thing. And what is this thing? Well, of course, it is the new Hyundai Santa Fe, one of the best looking SUVs that you can buy, and it is, of course, a 7-seat family SUV with a hybrid powertrain as well. And as you know, we are fully transparent here on CarSauce. This video is sponsored by Hyundai, but all they want is for the car to have some airtime on the channel. They don't care what the hell we do, what the hell we say. So we're going to say what we think, or at least I'm going to say what I think. It's going to be the absolute best and most intimate way to learn whether or not I like a car, and that is to spend, well, over 1,600 kilometers in it within 24 hours. That's a lot of kilometers. So join me as we start this journey. We head to Canberra. We're going to make a few stops. We're definitely going to get a pie because I'm starving already, and it is an Aussie tradition. And I will let you know, what is it like to spend a lot of time in a Hyundai Santa Fe, and is it nice? And of course, we have done a full review of this, and if you want to go watch that, check out the video. I'll link it down in the description below. But I will say we're off to a good start because check out the seat. It looks like we're going to be sitting in a bloody lounge chair. Okay, so to not make this video literally 14 hours long, I'm going to update you every few hours and let you know how we're going. And I think we're going to have quite a lot of fun and perhaps a lot of tears along the way. We'll find out. Let's go. Alrighty, guys. First things first. It's so quiet in here, I could barely hear that train coming. So we're going to use the inbuilt navigation here just because it integrates so well. It actually plays like augmented reality in the heads-up display, so it tells you when to turn, and you can have the navigation up in front of you. So really, it's just easy sometimes. And really, because it has built-in navigation, we're never really going to lose reception because it uses satellites rather than my phone's internet, which will cut out on the drive. So this is just more reliable, frankly. So I'm staying at a hotel called the Midnight Hotel. Sounds interesting. Ooh, it's giving us a fastest or most economic route. We're going to go the fastest route. So the total drive is almost 700 kilometers, 7 hours and 6 minutes. This is saying it will take, but of course we will have to have brakes. So, you know, it's going to take a little longer than that. In terms of fuel economy, right now I am sitting on 7 liters per 100 kilometers, and I've already done 72 kilometers of driving. My tank is saying that I've got about 902 kilometers of range left. So that means we theoretically should have well over 200 kilometers of range left when we get to Canberra. But you do have to remember that this is a very schmick and smart hybrid system, which performs really well in urban environments. Once you start to go onto open roads, you start to negate some of those low speed benefits of having the electric motor, which can power this car at lower speeds. But when you're on the highway, it will still boost electric power, but in tandem with the petrol motor. But it's also good because it means, unlike an EV, we don't have to stop and charge. We can just refuel within a minute and keep going if we need to, but we shouldn't need to. So enough rambling, let's get into it. I'll update you soon. Alrighty guys, so we're only about an hour in and we just hit some bumper to bumper traffic, which is thankfully we've just gotten out of. I was really worried it would last a while. But the good thing is that this thing just has such good AEDT systems, or autonomous driving assistance systems, and it essentially will just drive itself down a highway, keep you in the center of the lane. And I love it, especially in bumper to bumper traffic, because it will speed up and slow down for you, especially when you have HDA, or Highway Driving Assist, activated, which activates on highways. It's a new feature. and it is just so good. It is just so good. Not to mention this thing will auto lane change for you as well, which is an awesome feature. And we're sitting on 6.6 litres per 100 kilometres, which for a 7-seat SUV is very, very good. Okay, still 13 and a half hours of a round trip to go. Let's do it, baby. Okay, so we're about an hour and a half in, and I've definitely got some thoughts. One, you've got acoustically treated glass all around me, and it is actually quite quiet in here. We're sitting at just over 110 kilometers an hour on a coarse chip road, almost no wind noise, definitely some tire noise, but it's not too bad. But then check this out. Look what this seat can do, right? I'm in a normal seating position right now, very normal. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, you can like recline back, and it makes long drives like this a breeze. To be fair, we are literally about a 10th of the way through our entire journey, but I'm still very impressed. So I just took one of the best thumbnails I've ever taken, got some cool shots of the car as well, but it seems I've driven onto a road that can only be described as pure rock. It's like just rocks on the ground right now. It is of course a back road. We're near the border of Victoria and New South Wales because I've got to travel through New South Wales to get to Canberra. But I will say the Santa Fe is one, remarkably comfortable for a car that does not have adaptive dampers. They've done a really good job at tuning this for pretty much all conditions, but also this thing does have some pretty good tires on it as standard. It's also all-wheel drive here in the calligraphy, which is always nice to have, and I always recommend it, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of gravel roads like this. But then on top of all of that, it has a full-size spare wheel, which is a necessity in Australia. You really, really need it because you never know when you could get stranded, and everything's quite far away here. So yeah, very good to see all that stuff. All right, so unusually, I'm actually starting to get really hungry. I really want that pie. So we're gonna stop soon-ish. It's been about 2.5 hours now and get ourselves a pie. So let's do that. Well, welcome to New South Wales. We're in Albury at the moment, and I got myself a Beechworth gluten-free pie. You see, I was in a bit of a conundrum. Do I go to Beechworth Bakery, which I think gets 4.1 stars out of 5? Pretty good, but you know, I want a 4.5 or above. Or do I go to the Baker's Delight right next door? And you know, I'm a big fan of Baker's Delight. It's the big Aussie bakery chain, but I decided to go local, went Beechworth pies. I'll report back on how it is, but first of all, take a look at this. You are looking at the Murray River. That's right, this blocks off Victoria and New South Wales and is frankly our last line of defence, and your last line of defence if you're from New South Wales. There's also a man down there, which I felt like I disturbed that. Anyway, so now it's time to eat the pie and get back on the road because we're not done. We're here with the Hyundai Santa Fe and we got places to be, things to do, and frankly, there's still like 3 hours left to go, so we've got to do that. By the way, averaging 7.3 litres per 100 kilometres, which I think is pretty good. I'll report back with the pie. So is this gluten-free pie the right pie, or should I have gotten the pie flight with cauliflower pie? I don't know. Usually I just say, give me gluten, you know, put more gluten in me. I don't usually get gluten-free, but, oh, flaky. Oh, that's, it's been in the oven for a while. Oh. Cheers. I made the right choice. Beechworth, you've done a good job, but it is flaky, so I'm going to eat this outside the car. Alrighty guys, I've put the low light mode on this camera, so hopefully it works, but as you could tell, it is nighttime in here. And we're about 6 hours into the drive now. We still have another hour and 26 minutes left to go, and I think this is where this torture test is coming in. The car is remarkable, honestly. It's so comfortable. The seat's amazing. The amenities in here are really good. Like you can see, we've got all this really cool ambient lighting and stuff. But the two hardest things for me, one is I have been getting tired, which is one of the most dangerous things. So I've been taking little power stops and stretching my legs, done that a few times. But the other thing that's torturous is just boredom. It's just sitting here for like 7 hours, trying to fill the time, listening to podcasts and listening to music, which by the way, this sound system is, it's magnifique. But Yeah, look, still an hour and a half to go, and I'm literally just trying to think about how the hell do I fill this time. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about that. Have you ever done really, really long road trips in a short period of time and have just thought, oh my gosh, what do I do? And then I remember I got literally another 7.5 hours or so to drive back home tomorrow. So what a big 24 hours. It's gonna be big. Oh, alrighty guys, let's get there. Alrighty guys, made it to the midnight hotel, and guess what? It wasn't even midnight. So before I did that though, I did grab a bite to eat, and I also filled up the car. So here's some interesting stats. Across that entire drive, I averaged about 7.3 liters per 100 kilometers, which is better than what I was getting in my previous long-termer Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid, the previous generation, where I got about 7.6 to 8 liters on highway drive. So it's quite a big efficiency gain there. When we started, it said I'd have about 200 kilometers of range over left. It was about 50 kilometers of range left, which to be honest is totally fine. I filled up the car, cost me $123.54. I thought that was quite remarkable because it's almost like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, and the reason it didn't cost me like $200 to fill up is because you can fill this thing up with 91 octane fuel. Wouldn't be 200 bucks, but you know, saves you like 30, 40 bucks. It's very happy to drink that. So more economical, more savings. I will say there was one point in this drive where I was behind a CX-9. And I just thought, wow, how far have we come? Used to be able to get the CX-9 like top spec for about the same price as this Calligraphy today. So already the Santa Fe is quite significantly better value even than that was in the past. And I'm getting way better fuel economy, ride comfort, and interior. I don't know, cars have just come a long way, even in just a few years. And this Santa Fe, like I said, it's really set a new benchmark in our completely unpaid, unbiased review. We're filming this weeks later now. So yeah, really, really impressed. But unfortunately, things have changed and I do have to go back to Melbourne really quite early tomorrow to make something. And so I'm gonna have to leave here at about 4:30 in the morning. But actually, I'm not too worried because today's drive was really in the end quite easy. So torture test my ass. Well, I say that now, I'm only halfway through the journey and it has been pretty much all day. So enough rambling, let's get into the morning. Well, a very good morning to you. It is currently 4:30 in the morning and I'm a little tired, but check this out. If you double press this button and hold it, the car will turn on. Just heard it there. And now if we press this button, because we're in a bit of a tight spot, it's kind of hard to get in. That is just insane. And of course, there is no one in the car, so very cool. Just means it's easier to get in, easier to go. So cool, let's get on the road and I need to wake up. Car turned on. I need to wake up a little more. Let's do it. Well, I feel a lot more awake now. Good morning from a very cold and frosty somewhere near the border of Victoria and New South Wales. I'm actually pleasantly surprised because I looked down at the time and it's already been 3 hours of driving and it has not felt like 3 hours of driving. Honestly guys, I really like the way that this thing drives. Hyundai's money or not, this is a seriously good product. Still sitting at 7.3 liters per 100 kilometers, have not changed on that. So hey, it gets points for consistency and it's just a really good, easy drive. And that is despite getting a less than ideal amount of sleep. So the plan is to keep driving, baby. We're actually a little bit ahead of schedule too, which is nice. So I'll check in with you guys soon at the next stop. Oh, it's very foggy. Ooh, very foggy indeed. Bye. Well, you know what they say, famous last words. It's been about another hour and I was like hit with this wave of tiredness. So I've pulled over here at a truck stop and I've got myself a Red Bull so I can wake up a little bit because you never want to drive while tired. Yeah, it's just really, really dangerous. And it's also really fresh, which is actually quite pleasant when you're tired. It really wakes you up. So I'm going to have this. I'm going to wait a few minutes, make sure I'm nice and awake and then continue back on the journey. I'm starting to really feel the 14 hours of driving in 24 hours. It's a lot, but I will say the Santa Fe is doing an absolute bang up job and fuel economy is great and ride comfort is great. Like I said, you know, you compare it to a CX-9 and I just feel like this poops all over it, but you can let me know what you guys think in the comment section. So I'm gonna drink this, get back in the warm car and start on my way soon.
Australia were left reeling. How did a killer strike in broad daylight on the bustling streets of Melbourne's theatre district?
Alrighty guys, so we have made it home. 14 and a half hours, almost 1,400 kilometers in 24 hours. I've literally doubled the kilometers on this car, this poor press car. Was it a torture test? Well, it was kind of torturous for me in the sense that I got kind of bored. You know, 14 hours of driving in a pretty short period of time is, well, it can be kind of boring. However, the sound system, the Bose sound system in here, it drives so well, really comfortable, Hyundai ad or not. This thing is really, really good. And you don't have to believe me, you can click the link below, learn more about it from Hyundai. And I genuinely highly recommend you take it for a drive, especially if you're in the market for like anything, a Mazda CX-9 for example. Try this thing out. I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised. The annoying thing about it though, because you know, we're honest here, is the safety systems. Even though this thing is super duper safe, the eye monitoring is just a bit overzealous and the speed limit as well is just a bit annoying, but that's an ANCAP problem rather than a Hyundai problem. Every car manufacturer has to do that now if they want to get 5-star ANCAP, and of course that's what this thing is pretty much guaranteed to get. So yeah, very impressive. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And of course, if you want to buy one of these right now, you can head to carsauce.com/buy and we will connect you to whatever Hyundai dealer has the best deals for you. Ciao for now.